Krishna, everyone. So we're very grateful to His Holiness Dayanand Swami Maharaj, who has come to our center. Actually, he is our regional supervisor. The whole of this ISKCON Stoke, he works under his direction and guidance. So we're very grateful that he has come today. He's originally from Sheffield. He's a local man. He spent many years in North, and he spent many years in Manchester Temple also, in the establishment center. And now he's a renounced brother of life. He's a sannyasi, and he goes around different places in UK, also in Eastern European countries like Latvia, Lithuania, and all. So he's been traveling all over the world, and today he's ready to come and talk to us about the Krishna consciousness. Please welcome him by 2 times loudly chanting. Hare! Hare! Hare!
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So today is Akshaya Tritiya. What's Akshaya Tritiya? It's does anybody know? Anyway, I know someone did know. It's not really anything to do with Bhakti Yoga, really. But it can be linked to Bhakti Yoga. Everything can be linked. Even we can be linked. Is it first time? I've been a few times. I'm just trying to find a particular series of verses. So, on Akshaya Tritiya, it's supposed to be it's the time when nothing, everything you do on that day, it doesn't diminish, right? So it's a good time to start something auspicious, right? Auspicious means something which is good for us, something which brings good to us and not everybody around us. Inauspicious means, maybe some bad results. It's not very, like, in the Veda say, is it your left arm starts twitching? Is that good or bad? That's good. And if your right arm starts twitching, then, there's going to be some disturbance. And these are all things which are in the portion of the Vedas regarding material activities. You know, material activities mean that something you do, it's in the law of karma. Law of karma means that you sow, so shall you reap. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Whatever you do, then there'll be a suitable reaction in due course. So, you know, people live in this world and want to enjoy it, then we should understand what things are actually beneficial and what aren't beneficial. Because we'll get a result from it, and we'll have to actually live out that result. So, you know, these particular things are made for a materialistic person, what they call a karmic. But okay, follow this, and at least there's two benefits. We're following Shastra. It's in Shastra, so when we follow Shastra, we're being obedient to the lawmaker, to Krishna. And so that's good for us, just by following. If we don't follow, then it's not good for us. So when we follow the Shastra, then there's the result of following the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this particular case, it means that we can actually avoid unnecessary difficulty in this world. Has anybody noticed there's one difficulty after another, is that right? You know, we think it's always going to be the last one, is that right? I'll just get over this and then it's plain sailing. But it's not like that. You know, I think I mentioned last time the difficulties are just waiting for us. They're queuing up. So this is called Kali Yuga, especially this age we're living in, and it's fraught with difficulties. So the reason I mention this is that we should expect it, whether we're actually practicing devotional service or we're not, we should expect that there's going to be reversals. And I thought I'd tie this Akshaya Tritiya to that it means that things never diminish, and just like Draupadi, for instance. Charities. What chapter's charities? Is it 14th chapter? I think it is. Something in the mode of. We're going to scholars here. Charity in the mode of good. If you got your computer there, put it in your computer and then it'll easily come over there. Oh, I think it's in 17. Is it? Ah, here we are. I've got it. 17. So it's a different types of things that we perform in this world. One is charity, right? This is a stroke. It's 17:20. So this world is governed by the three modes of nature. You've heard of the three modes of nature, yeah? We feel the results of them, even if we haven't heard of it. It's like this electricity. Is that worked by the three modes of nature? No? It's like in electrical engineering. Is it got any electrical engineers here? No? Well, there's, you know, like you've got your red wire and your black wire. Or it used to be like that, now it's a brown wire and what is it? Is it blue water still? Anyway, but actually when they generate electricity, it comes out in 3 live wires. 3. And these wires are, well, guess what colour they are? Red, yellow and blue. What's the colours of the modes of nature? Red is what? Passion. Blue is ignorance. And yellow is goodness. So, you know, when they generate, they colour these wires so, and then they tap off these wires for household use, so many uses. And so it says these wires are in flux. At one point, the voltage in one wire is very high, and it's medium in another, and low in another. And then it changes within a few seconds, and it's high in the. So these modes of nature are like they work in the electricity of the light, of a hoover, a refrigerator, you name it, any other things, computer. So many things have been operated by these 3 modes, 3 wires. So similarly, everything in this material world is operated by these 3 modes of nature. And they're even in the mind. Did you know that? Even the things we think are in the modes of nature. Sometimes we think, we think, and we think in the platform of the mind. But actually we're beyond the mind and we're beyond the intelligence. This mind and intelligence that we've got, it's not us. It's being worked by the modes of nature. And, the soul has a choice to actually serve Krishna through these modes, or through this body, or serve himself. And that's the only choice we've got. So, in that difficult situation, we need guidance in how to serve Krishna. And this Akshaya Tritiya is saying that, you should give certain gifts. Anybody know what those gifts are? One is gold. And here it says, especially to a sannyasi. Okay. Not forget. No, we're giving gold, it's supposed to be auspicious. So yeah, charity in the mode. So we're talking about giving in charity, giving gold. So let's see what it says. Datayam iti yandanam diyate nupakrine. Have you got it? Oh, anyway. It's easy to read. Desha kale chapatre cha taddanam satvikam smitam. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. In the Vedic literature, charity given to a person engaged in spiritual activities is recommended. There is no recommendation for giving charity indiscriminately. Spiritual perfection is always a consideration. Therefore, charity is recommended to be given at a place of pilgrimage and at a lunar or solar eclipse, or at the end of the month, or to a qualified Brahman or a Vaishnava devotee, or in temples. Such charities should be given without any consideration of return. Charity to the poor is sometimes given out of compassion, but if a poor man is not worth giving charity, so then there is no spiritual benefit or spiritual advancement. In other words, indiscriminate charity is not recommended in the Vedic literature. Let's just read about the other 2 types of charity before we carry on. Okay? But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. We do it because we'll get something from it. Yeah? So just ring a bell. Even in devotional service, you know, we carry this conditioning and we may perform devotional service because we're going to get something. In fact, in the beginning of devotional service, we definitely do that. What do we want? 4 kinds of people approached, or one of them wants some, maybe very poor, another is suffering. So I think, especially in the Western countries, this is definitely the case. You know, we have so much going for us. The only thing we can actually just are on tap, which are not so readily available in many parts of the world. Or as a result, people are more frustrated, more psychological problems. So, you know, this is not the way. So this is because we want something. We're not meant for that. We're not meant for wanting things. You know, we're meant for actually giving. Because actually a devotee has no anxiety about anything. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what's that verse? 8:28. I'll read it to you. 8:28. Here we go. You like this? I think you like this a lot, actually. Vedishu yagishu tapashu chaiva, danishu yad punya phalam pradistam, acheti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi paranam stanam upaiti chadya. Listen, a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end he reaches the supreme eternal abode. So we're not meant for wanting. You know, what's lacking there? If we, you know, we can also fill in the gaps, any other things that's missed there, we get that as well. Has anybody got a desire for something? Well, you can put your hand up, don't we? We've all got it. We don't have to reveal it, but, you know, we've all got some desires, right? So, you know, that desire will be fulfilled in devotional service. And, you know, it may be actually that we have to suffer for it if it's a wrong desire, or we'll actually get some benefit if it's a right desire. But whatever we desire, it will come to fruition. And guess what? It'll come when we don't want it. It'll come when we've actually realised I don't really need that. And Krishna said, no, go on, take it. Yeah, take it. What was an example of that? In Bhagavatam. Dhruv, a little boy, just a little boy, you know, 5 years old, scorned by his stepmother, Saruchi, that you can't sit on the lap of your father. You're not qualified. You have to wait until the next birth. You have to take birth from my womb, and then you can become a prince and king. And Dhruva Maharaj, being a Shastri, he was so angry. You know, even at 5 years old, and he made a vow that I'm going to actually obtain a kingdom greater than even the creator of the universe, Brahma. And so, you know, Sarushi said that, told him, she actually was his Varma Pradakshika Guru, because she said, you know, you'll have to actually get mercy from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who's he? Who's the Supreme? Then he went to his mother, Suniti, and asked him about, you know, who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Oh, he's the master of everything, control of everyone. Where does he live? In the forest. Okay. He said off to the forest. He never looked back. And then Narada Muni came and said, Narada Muni was like impressed. He said, I've never seen such determination in a person. He said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to see the Supreme Personality of Hare. How old are you? 5 years old. What do you think you can do? So he tried to put him off. And he gave so many arguments. You play now, then you actually, hostilities later. And what did Narada Muni say? What did Dhruva Maharaj say? Look, if you're not going to help me, step aside. And so then Narada Muni said, okay, I'll help you. He actually preached to him about devotional service. But he said, look, I'm too much in the mode of passion, the modes of nature. I understand what you're saying, but I can't do it. Has anybody had that feeling about devotional service? There's things that we hear about, or we see devoted people. I wish I could do that. Or, when the senses get out of control, I wish I could control my senses. I wish I could chant 64 around, I wish I could do that. So many things that we may want to do, but are not able to. Does that ring a bell with anybody? Yeah? But I thought you were on my own. So yeah, so Dhruva Maharaj understood that, and that's actually a milestone in devotional service. Not trying to be, what we say, what's that? Denial, in denial. What does denial mean? I mean, we deny what we can't really do. We think, oh, I'm going to do it. We try to bite off more than what we chew, or we acting on a false platform. One of the first things in devotional service is to admit where we're at. Before we came to devotional service, I bet most of us admitted where we were at. And when devotional service came, when the opportunity came along, I thought, this is what I needed. But this mode of passion carries on in devotional service. We've got to do something, we've got to be somebody. Just like Dhruva Maharaj. And so, first of all, is to just understand that this is where I'm at. Shastra tells us exactly where we're at. And act from that platform. And then we can go forward. So Dhruva Maharaj did that. He just did that one thing correct in the beginning. He admitted that I can't do this, I can do this. And so he did it with all his heart. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the same thing. He says we should understand where we're at and we should move forward gradually to the next step. He says when we move forward, this is actually a process. If we don't move forward when we should, this is called, what is it? Niyamagraha. It's called in Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. It means we're not going with the times, or we're not actually accepting that we should go forward. So devotional service means accepting that, don't move forward if we can't maintain it, and don't move, don't stay in the same place out of comfort zone, but do the extra little bit of when they give donations in India, what do they give? £100, right? Yeah? No. 101. Why do they give 101? Showing off, yeah? No, it's because they think, I'm giving this, and to show I'm not giving it in a grudging mood, but more of passion. Here's another one, right? It's what they say in Ireland, a heart and a half. They give it with a heart and a half. When you do things, do it with a heart and a half. It's not in a grudging mode. So this is the mode of goodness. And so Dhruva Maharaj, I'm in the mode of passion. And so what did Narada Muni say? Okay, I'll give you a mantra. He told him what to do, how to chant it, how to say it, everything. So you go to the forest and you start chanting this mantra and meditate. He says, then eventually you're about to see the Supreme Personality of God. And his desire there, he was still thinking, yes, I'm going to be the greatest king in this universe. And he was so determined. First month he just ate fruits, were readily available off the tree. Same month he thought, I need to do a bit more. He went near Madras, he moved forward, right? So what did he do the second month? He ate dry leaves for a month. He ate a drink of water as well. Then the third month, what did he have? Just water. Then he was feeling, I should move forward. So then he started just drinking water. And then he was still satisfied, so he just started breathing. He was living on the prana of the air. There's prana in the air, it gives you energy. And then the fifth month, he just breathed once every, every 10, 12 days, I think it was. Can you imagine? And that's it, for 12 days. Simple life. He was so fixed on wanting to actually chant this mantra that he hadn't got time to breathe. So this is, and all this came from a determination. So whatever we want, we should do it in devotional service. Go for it, but perform devotional service. And with that determination, we should actually take us forward very quickly. And then after 6 months, Lord Vishnu, he had to appear. He thought, I've got to appear before this little boy. He's so determined. In fact, he forced him to appear. He was controlling his breathing so much that everybody else was choking. The demigods, everybody in the whole universe of breathing actually stopped. And so they ran to Lord Brahma, what's going on? And so Lord Brahma said, it's Dhruva Maharaj, I'll petition Lord Vishnu to visit him. So Lord Brahma asked Lord Vishnu, and he came and pacified Dhruva Maharaj. And then what happened? What happened to Dhruva Maharaj's material desires? They went straight out of the wind. As soon as he saw Lord Vishnu, he thought, what have I been actually searching for? He said, I've been searching for broken glass, and now there's a diamond. So this is the process of devotional service. It's actually a very, very pragmatic process, a very effective process, and a very practical process. We create so many problems in the mind. All we have to do is chant Hare Krishna, actually. You know that? I was listening to a tape about one devotee who met Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. And when he first met him, he was 70 years old, and he was revered as a Paramahamsa, the topmost Vaishnava by all the other devotees. And, he got a little bit of white stubble, white hair, and all he said when he saw this devotee said, Hare Krishna. That's all he said. And it wasn't until he'd been living in that ashram for a while that he found out he could actually speak perfect English. But he just used to say Hare Krishna. And when he was asked, why do you keep saying Hare Krishna? There's nothing else worth saying. He said, I know, but if I just chant Hare Krishna, all my problems are over. Did I tell you about that? Last time I came. You'd like to know that problem? I was going to the Manchester temple. I used to travel from Sheffield, about 54, 55 miles. And, one week it was just, there used to be a lot of Prabhupada disciples around then, and so they used to be giving class. And then this week there was one brahmachari, young brahmachari. I thought, it was like second generation. I thought, it's not going to be up to standard, this class. But he started giving class, and then at some point he said, if you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds, all your problems are over. And I thought, wow, that sounds too good. It is too good to be true. I can't believe that. And so I was going to ask him, challenge him in class, but I thought, no, I'll wait till after. And I went and I asked him. I said, you just said that, you know, if you chant 16 rounds of the Maha mantra, all your problems are over. I said, do you mean that? He said, yes. And he was so convinced, I thought, right, from today I'm going to chant 16 rounds. You know what? All your problems don't go away, but they're not significant anymore. So, you know, we're living in this world, but we learn not to be of it. We learn to deal with so many things just by practicing spiritual life. This is why Krishna Dasa Babaji Maharaj just chanted Hare Krishna every time he was asked a question. So, what was today? Anybody remember? Akshaya Tritiya. So you'll not find it much in the Vaishnava calendar. But like I said, whatever it is there, whatever we desire, everything can be used as a service to Krishna. So what is something that Akshaya Tritiya means it never diminishes? Can anybody think of anything which doesn't diminish? No, everything diminishes, is that right?
Yes.
What about the sun?
So,
Eh?
so or the sun.
Sun.
So never.
That diminishes as well. No? It does in Stoke. You get plenty of clouds, you know. No, the sun is actually the Brahma Jyoti. It's a reflection of the Brahma Jyoti. It's coming from Krishna's toe. It's Krishna's energy, so it won't diminish. But anything in connection with Krishna doesn't diminish, that's the point. Anything which is not connected with Krishna will definitely diminish. So, who wants to make a vow on Akshaya Tritiya? Put your hands up. Who wants to make a vow? Two. There's a few eyebrows raising. I just got two so far. Any advances on two? There's no catch to it, don't worry, there's no catch. Come on, make a vow. Anyway, I advise that this is it's a time of making some activity but we're not going to diminish. Who's chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on beads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Only 8. What are we going to do about it then? Oh, 9. 9. So how many's in here? 3. About it's probably about 25, maybe 30 at the outside. So there's a third chanting the Maha mantra so far. So this is something we can all do. It's so simple. We just start chanting. You know, spiritual Lord Chaitanya. Everybody knows Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's Lord Krishna. None different from Lord Krishna. And he appeared 500 years ago, and particularly to do what? Spread the Sankirtan movement of chanting the holy name of the Lord. That was his main reason. There was another reason, an internal reason, but we don't need to discuss that here. But his external reason was just to actually, first of all, to get people to chant Hare Krishna. Because he knew that if devotees start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the second part of his appearance would actually come to fruition. And what is that? To come to the highest point of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, most intimate relationship with Krishna. A one-to-one relationship in pure affection coming from the heart. No rules and regulations, we're naturally, spontaneously attracted to the person. Just like in this world, some people are very attractive. Have you noticed? they take an attraction to certain people. Have you noticed? So, you know, it's very attractive, put it that way, want of a better word. Can anybody mention anybody in the limelight now? When I was a boy, it used to be the Beatles. Remember the Beatles? You know, everybody was so attracted to them. For the music, for the personality. They just, you know, they had that charisma. And so that all that attraction is coming from the Lord Krishna, the all attractive. All the qualities we're attracted to in this world, Krishna has them in full. And especially those qualities that are actually reflected in his holy name. So when we chant the holy name, we actually experience a connection with Krishna. And at best, and at the worst, we experience, what's the next thing we experience? Detachment from any material thing. So Lord Chaitanya was asked by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was the greatest scholar in the whole of the world at that time. India was a seat of learning. And Navadvip in West Bengal was the seat of the Indian learning. And he was revered as the greatest scholar. But he was actually an impersonalist. He believed in the impersonal understanding of the Lord. Impersonalism means that we think that the source of everything is an energy. And the highest understanding is understanding that that energy is coming from a person. So he couldn't understand that at the time. And his brother-in-law, they call him Gopinathacharya, was it? Gopinathacharya. And Gopinathacharya, he used to say, you know, you're just actually you're a fool. You're thinking you're a learner, you don't know anything. And, you know, you can say that to the brother-in-law. And, you know, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he never blinked an eyelid. He was like so proud. And at one point, Lord Chaitanya, he just took sannyas, and he was making his way towards Jagannath Puri. And he wanted to see the deities of Lord Jagannath. And so what happened is that he didn't want to be, you know, everywhere he went, there were so many followers. And he wanted to, does anybody have that feeling you just want to be on your own sometimes? You want a break? Give me a break, Lord. Yeah. Especially if you've got kids, you know. And then what's the saving grace if you've got kids? The mother-in-law comes round, right? And you know, for a few hours she looks after him. So yeah, he wanted a break. Lord Chaitanya wanted a break. And so, you know, it was a whole pastime, but it resulted in Lord Nishinanda, his elder brother, breaking his sannyas danda into 3 parts and throwing it into what was the name of the river? Nada, the Nada River. And so Lord Chaitanya took that as an opportunity to get the hump. You know, he thought, yeah, I'm not staying in this city. He just went forward and left Lord Nishinanda. And on the pretext of being disturbed, but he was to be on his own, and he went to the Jagannath temples. And as soon as he saw the deity of Lord Jagannath, he just fainted in ecstasy, in a swoon. And, you know, he went into such deep ecstasy that his breathing almost stopped. He was in a trance, samadhi. And at that time, the guards at the temple, they thought it was some sahaja, some, you know, fake devotee just showing off. So they got their clubs and they were going to beat him. That's usually what happens if when somebody's actually not playing the point, start beating, they get up and run away. So they were going to beat them. And Sarvabhauma could see, well, so wait a minute. And he checked his symptoms, and he put a thin cotton swab in front of his nose. And he could see that the swab was moving. He knew that actually he was in trance. There is some slight breathing there. So he took him back to his house, and at some point the devotees caught up, and they started chanting the Hare Krishna Maha mantra. And so this immediately awakened Lord Chaitanya from his trance. Is everybody listening? I'm getting distracted here. So, did everybody remember where we were? What was the last word? He distracted from his trance, right? And so then he started out, Lord Chaitanya. So then he started to train, or tried to train this young sannyasi in philosophy so he would be strong. So such a young sannyasi, he's only like, can you imagine 24 years old, 6 foot something tall, nearly 7 foot tall, built like a lion, beautiful features. And he thought, how's he going to last as a sannyasi? They'll be attracted by the opposite sex at some point. And so he trained him in his Vedanta philosophy. And at that time, Sarvabhaumacharya was meeting his brother-in-law and telling him about what was going on. And he said, do you know who you're speaking to? Sarvabhaumacharya said, no. He said, you're speaking to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And, Sarvabhaumacharya, he couldn't believe that. And so he just sidelined it. And eventually, Lord Chaitanya revealed his personality to Sarvabhaumacharya. Sarvabhaumacharya, he was actually speaking so much philosophy. And then at one point he said, Lord Chaitanya wasn't reciprocating, he wasn't answering or doing anything. He was just sat there like this. Have you ever had that uneasy feeling when somebody's sat, they don't say anything after a while? You know what I mean? Am I talking to myself here or what? Or is, am I getting through? I wonder if he's actually, so he asked me, he says, you're not saying anything. It's after 7 days. He says, do you understand what I'm saying? And then Lord Chaitanya said, do you understand this Vedanta philosophy? And Lord Chaitanya said, I understand Vedanta philosophy, but I don't understand what you're talking about. He said it in a nice way, because he was senior. And, Sarvabhaumacharya said, well, you speak then, you. And then Lord Chaitanya started speaking personally his philosophy. And, Sarvabhaumacharya, his mouth dropped on. So, wow, this person is so learned. And he's so convincing as well, but it was so much of an impersonation that it didn't really affect him completely. But eventually he became a devotee by Lord Chaitanya's preaching. He became convinced. And one of the first things he said, which is the most important point in the aspect of devotional service. What did Lord Chaitanya say? He said, what? That's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing that we want to develop. But what's the most important process of reaching him? Chanting the holy name. Without any doubt. And so we should also follow in that vein that, why are we hearing? Why is everybody hearing this philosophy? I mean, we're just tolerating it for some time, I don't know. Sometimes we tolerate, And then, I mean, I've done it myself. Yeah, what? Go on.
We came here because we want to learn about Krishna and Rama.
You want to learn about Krishna? Very good. You're here for the right reason. And so, by learning about Krishna, then we're just so attracted to Krishna. He's such an attractive person. And then, we start thinking, I really want to actually meet this person. And so then we can start, actually, even before that, there's other reasons that we'll start to practice. But, you know, when we hear about Krishna and we hear about the process of devotional service, and simultaneously we hear about the nature of this material world. When we hear the true nature of this material world, then we actually start to become detached. So hearing about Krishna, hearing about the bad tidings of the material world bring detachment. Yes? And then we can start to understand the process of devotional service and practice it, this chanting. And we'll only chant if we're actually convinced. And Prabhupada said, first, what's the first thing we do when we're chanting? We hear. He didn't give any instructions except hearing the holy name. Because he knew that if a person hears the holy name properly, if he mouths it and hears it, then he'll make progress. And what were the same instruction Prabhupada gave? One of his disciples said, "Oh, Prabhupada, you know, when I chant, I get to see a white light. Or it must have been a red light, I'm not sure which one it was. Anyway, it's all light." He said, "What should I do, Prabhupada?" He says, "Keep chanting, it'll go away." So, you know, we may have so many ideas of what chanting will bring. We do in the beginning. We've got so many ideas of what we're going to achieve, or so many reasons we're doing it. I remember my mother, she heard about the chanting or visiting. She started chanting at some point. So, what are you chanting for? She still got this terrible pain. Every time I chant, it goes away. But she started chanting. What was it I'm talking about? Also, Bhattacharya. Yes, so Lord Chaitanya, that's his main purpose for appearing. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam. Kaluna steva, nasteva, nasteva, kateva, nasteva. And guaranteed, if we, when we start chanting holy name, our spiritual life really takes off. Like I was saying, this brahmachari gave that class, and we get immediate relief. And as we carry on chanting, we become more and more detached from things that we're so attracted in this world. Because the only thing that's causing us a problem, what's causing the problems? What? The mind. The mind is attachment. We're attached. And that's what the difficulty is. We think we can't become detached, we're so attached. We're even attached to things that we don't like. Though we're not so, we just become habituated to being attached to things which are actually not doing us any good. And so this Maha should gradually reduce those attachments. If we're not attached to anything, there's nothing can bother us. Because why? We're not trying to lose in it. If you're not trying to lose in anything, you won't suffer. There's two people in this world who are actually happy, right? Actually, I'll tell you a story, son. I'll tell you a story. There was, it's just a little. There was this, it was in India actually, and there was this businessman, he was like Burla, Tata, what's the name, Tata, is it? It was fabulously rich. He could actually, do anything he wanted. And one day he was stood, with a long face, and he was looking out of the window, with great intent. And his wife saw him and said, "What's that matter with you? Why are you looking so miserable? You've got a huge house. You've got you're the owner of this industry. You've got a big, nice house. You've got beautiful children, beautiful wife. I says, but, so, you know, what's the problem? He said, what are you looking at anyway? He says, I'm looking at him. She came and looked through a window. And there was this mendicant sat in the, you know, in the street. And all he had on was one loin. He had a loincloth, a chadder, not a chadder, what do you call it? A gamsha, a begging bowl, and that was it. I said, why do you want to be like him? He said, because he's happy. You couldn't take anything from him. It, you know, it's actually a fact. We start reducing our material necessities and we become peaceful. Well, we've got when we actually build up material necessities, we're always in anxiety about losing them. You know, say if you become, you know, a multi-millionaire, what's the first thing you're going to employ? You're going to employ, you know, some security, aren't you? And then, you know, after a while, you can think, you know, this security seems a little bit dodgy to me. So then, you know, you get somebody to look after that. And somebody, so it never ends. So, Akshaya Tritiya means that we can reduce our material necessities by 1 iota. What's an iota? Anybody know what an iota is?
Small letter. Small. Small letter.
A small increment. Do you know what it is?
What letter is working for? I'm not sure.
Just reduce a little bit and increase the other side. And I say we made a little bit of an effort to reduce, but if we start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, automatically it will reduce. So it's like, you know, Krishna Kaviraj and Krishna Das was saying, the old sadhu who just said Hare Krishna. So I was gonna give it a try. Who likes a challenge? Who likes a challenge? Hands up who like a challenge. 1, 2. Oh, very good. That's a very awesome. This is a challenge, right? That this Hare Krishna Maha mantra, we chant 1 round of the mantra every day, right? For 2 weeks. And then at the end of 2 weeks, we just analyze if anything's changed, what our consciousness is like. And guaranteed, it'll change. It'll change for the better. And another thing, we'll find that there's less anxiety. Okay? So this is practical, isn't it? I'm not asking anybody to do anything which is not measurable. Okay? No? Okay, we can stop there. Then have we got any comments or questions? We've got 10 minutes to answer any questions. Yeah?
When's the best time for you to check for anybody who's starting to count?
It's the best time?
Yeah.
Anytime?
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah, we can chant any time of the day, but if we want to actually get the best result from chanting, it's better when the mind is fresh in the morning, before it actually starts, you know, working out what we're going to do in the day, or working out on this. As soon as that happens, that's always there, which comes into the mind. If we, as soon as we wake up, start chanting, then all these other things will not be so prominent. It's just like we're talking about Akshaya Tritiya. There's a story behind how this started, right? It was the Pandavas. Everybody knows who the Pandavas are. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's Arjuna, Krishna's speaking to Arjuna. He's one of the Pandavas. And, you know, he had 4 brothers, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula and Sahadeva. And their mother was called Draupadi. So at some point in the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita is in the middle of the Mahabharata, but at some point before the Battle of Kurukshetra, before this Bhagavad Gita was spoken, they were tricked by the opposite party, the Kauravas, to take, you know, out of their kingdom, and they were banished to the forest for 13 years. And while they were in the forest, you know, Durvasa Muni came. I think it was, anyway, Draupadi, the mother of the Pandavas, she got a benediction and she was given a cooking pot. And the benediction was that until you take your meal, you'll be able to cook in this pot for unlimited number of people. So this was, you know, it'll ever increase. So this is where one of the stories about Akshaya Tritiya, that this benediction is given to anybody who makes a vow on this day. But I can't vouch for that. I don't know the origin of Akshaya Tritiya. But I do know that anybody who makes a vow to chant the Hare Krishna mantra on this day, that from that time onwards, things will start to alter. Anything else? Aksha means sight, doesn't it? Aksha means sight. And Tritiya means third. There's different times in the year. This is the third section of the year. Okay. Prabhupada ki. Santara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Gaura Premanand.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So on behalf of ISKCON Stoke, we thank all of you for coming for Sunday's program. We also thank Dana Maharaj for coming all the way from up north. It's wonderful class today. How many of you enjoyed it? Good. Points that stuck out to me in Maharaj's class. Maharaj first starts speaking about 3 modes of material nature, and then not wanting things but giving, which is what Akshaya Tritiya is all about on this day. And he mentioned that a milestone within devotional service is to admit where we are at in devotional service as we're growing in bhakti, which I find quite interesting. We have to be aware of where we are so that we can grow nicely. And also Maharaj talked about chanting, how important it is. Chanting reminds us of attraction of Krishna and detachment from material things. So one big takeaway from this, and the challenge that Maharaj set for all of us, was to chant for at least 2 weeks every day and see if there's any effects. And he said there's a big guarantee, so try it out. So a few announcements that we have. Summertime is around the corner. It may not look like it, but it is around the corner. And with summertime, it means it's Rath Yatra season. Has anybody here heard of Rath Yatra? No? Yes? Okay, some of us. So Rath Yatra is a massive chariot festival that we have every year, and it usually happens in a place called Jagannath Puri in India. But Prabhupada actually introduced it to the West. So now in every major city across the world, we have a massive chariot festival with 3 chariots. People come to dance, chant, a lot of prasadam, and it happens all across the world. So in England, the big festival that we're having is in London. You'll see thousands of devotees there chanting and dancing with the 3 massive chariots for Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. So the London Rath Yatra is happening on 30th July. And for Stoke, we are organizing a coach for all of us to come. So it's an amazing day out. We'll organize it from somewhere local. So please let us know if you would like to come. We're starting to prepare it now. The cost will be around £40 per person. But it's a full day of amazing things. We're going to go down to London. We'll have a shadow on the way, on the coach. The whole Rath Yatra ceremony will be there for a few hours. And then on the way back, when everything's over, we'll go to the Bhaktivedanta Manor for a stop off there. We can visit the temple. They have a Goshala there, so you can pet some cows. And it's really, really nice. It's a really nice day out. So if you're up for it, please do come along.
What time of the week is that?
Day of the week. It's Sunday, yes. So we probably won't have a Sunday beach program on that day. So the aim is to get everybody here onto the trip. So the exact schedule will be on a WhatsApp group. If you want to join, please speak to me or Radha Mohan Prabhu. And the exact details will be on our WhatsApp group. If you're not in our WhatsApp group, we have some signs across the temple with a QR code. So if you scan that, you'll be in the WhatsApp group, and then you get all the notices for us. So on Akshaya Tritiya, like Mark said, it's all about giving, it's not Christmas. So one main thing is for giving, we ask the devotees, if you can, please give a donation to the temple so that we can maintain everything that's going on. In the summer, we're planning to do a lot of work for the temple room. So some painting and some just cleaning up the place, because we haven't done much to it since we got it. And it's nearly been a year, so we're going to have a 1-year anniversary for that as well. So just so we can get all that done, please, if you can, give a donation. You can give it at the donation box. We also have some bank details, some signs for that all across the temple, and also I'll be at the shop. So if you have a card, just do it there. Also, are there any new people here today? You're here today? Okay. Do you mind just introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name's Paul.
Courtney. And you will have as well, Marie?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay. Did you enjoy the program?
Yeah, it sounds.
Good, good, good. Ruth? Can you introduce yourself? Birmingham. Oh, yes.
It's my guest.
Oh, your guest. Okay, the voice of bringing the voice. Thanks. So we welcome you.
There's one, somebody hiding here.
I think.
Yes, yeah, on the floor, that's fine. So again, it's myself, my two daughters, but Lester, my name's Kate Riley, and Ashley, Riley, and it's just located at England, in India, the last 8 years, it's actually my fault. Just wanted to come and see what's going on here.
Amazing. So before this whole Manchester and stuff came about, me and my parents were going to Leicester, and it's at Mataji, so they're very close to our community. So on behalf of this concert, we thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy it. Please come on here. Next Monday, the bank holiday Monday, we are having an extra class for May Day, because it's 1st of May. Not my joke. But we're having an extra class there, so it's about something about an emergency. I'm not sure what. My father told me to tell this joke, so I don't know anything about it, but please come along. It's even a surprise to me, so please do. Also, one last thing, we have some free calendars. So days like Akshaya Tritiya and other festivals are on the calendar. If you don't have it, or you have some friends that don't have it, please do take one. They're completely free. And then we're just trying to finish our stock because it's nearly halfway through the year and we can't be giving out calendars now. So just speak to me. And also, for any of the new people, or if you're still interested, we have lots and lots of information at the shop about Bhakti Yoga and other festivals. So at the end of the program, after Kirtan, you can come and speak to me at the shop. So yeah, Hare Krishna. So right now we'll have a Kirtan. So if we can all stand up move the chairs, move the mats, and then we can have some cheering. Here we go.
Hare Krishna. So they have Kirtan now, and His Holiness Dayanand Swami Maharaj is very well known for his Kirtan. And it makes everyone dance. So today is your day. You now begin your dancing Kirtan. So you always dance in all of your life. Hare Krishna.
So just chant. So I'm just going to chant a few mantras. Some of you may know them, some of you may not know them. So just take a few minutes. And then we'll chant the Hare Krishna Maha mantra. So you just keep listening to it, and then you can pick it up. Just I'll sing, then everybody follows in response. Okay? For those who don't know. I think you can go into the middle a little bit. Namah Krishna Padaya Krishna Yata Bhutale Srimati Namaste Saraswati Hayam Vishnu Par, Paramahamsa, Parivitacharya, Stoke, Sri Malik, Ryan Red, Tirabhakti Sam, Saraswati, Maharaj, Prabhupada, Ananta Vaishnava Vinatija, Namacharya, Shri Rasa Kaurvi, Vente Hoshi, Krishna Chaitanya, Guru Nityananda, Shri Radha, Gaura Bhakti, Hare Krishna Gopina, Jamakum Radhakum Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Dinatur Vrindavan Ki Jai, Dinamrit Mahapuram Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Rangamai Ki Jai, Yamuna Ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, all glories to all glories to all glories to all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
We all are waiting for this main event today.
Prabhuji, don't let me go.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmi Vaishnave Sattva Punya Param Rajam Krishna Soya Vidayate Sarira Vidyata Jane Deta Eka Jive Fil Vishesa Kare Taake Ban Vidayate Lovo Mai Sudurmati Taake Deta Katan Sastake Krishna Bolo Dayamar Kari Jiva Jai Sarva Bhavas Bhavrasan Alabai Sri Advaita Radha Krishna Gunagam Srimati Chaitanya Nikai Janima Janika Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Prashadam ki
Young devotees ki Hare Krishna. There's been good competition all around. You are ready for Prashadam now? If you are hungry, please make your way upstairs. Hare Krishna.